can't call an official meeting, but we could at least get an update as a committee. Just will be just way to get together and get just an update on the at least on the recap and the schedule. I think everything else would have to wait for a formal meeting with a quorum.
Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky and one of them will call in while everybody's going through it.
And I can go through the OPM presentation I have prepped if you want, or you want to wait another minute or so.
No, Steve, I think you can go ahead and go do that. Since we don't have a quorum, we just can't take any official business. But it doesn't mean we can't use the time to bring up to speed committee members that are here. So with that being said, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay. Okay, everybody can see my screen. So I sort of recap what was our agenda. So there'll be no approval of any minutes. To be honest, I don't even know if there was minutes from November 19th. Steve, I didn't see anything. And but I did see an agenda for November 19th. Not that you could vote on them anyways, but I don't know if there was any minutes.
I know all our meetings are recorded, Steve, which is good. So that does at least capture our minimum requirement. We generally get minutes pulled together off of those, but if you can just go ahead and give us the update on the other stuff.
Yeah, project status, schedule update, public outreach, and then the town meeting budget. So design progress since previous town fall town meeting, which was roughly when we last met in October, just before town meeting. SD is complete, and we have a cost estimate we received on the 25th of March. Design development phase is ongoing, and that will be going through April, at which time we'll be getting a DD estimate for beginning of May. We've been having focus working group meetings for technology, HVAC, plumbing, fire protection, electrical, department heads, planning, and conservation. We're going to have follow-up meetings also. We're getting ready for the site plan review submissions for both planning board and Concom by the end of this month. All our test pits for structural and drainage are complete. The hydrant flow test is complete. And we've been having our bi-weekly working group meetings. We actually had one this morning. Our schedule, some of our anticipated and really set dates for certain things. Again, we had November 4th was the town meeting for the design funds. March of 2026, we completed SD and started DD and permitting. April 30th, design development should be complete. Also April 30th, we've got the next community outreach forum at the community center. April 28th, we have a project review with the select board. And then we come into May 7th and the 12th, which is our town meeting and our ballot request for construction funds. Hopefully getting a positive vote on both of those from May to July. End of July, we'll be doing our construction documents and our contractor pre-qualification because this construction is over 10 million. And then ideally August 5th to the September 11th, plus or minus, we'll have our filed sub and GC bidding. And October 1st would be contract award. And then October to December 27th would be our construction closeout that I'm putting in at 15 months. We want to we're going to firm that up a little bit because we do have phasing involved. So we'll see if that's 15 holds or, you know, if it grows a little bit. But I wanted to put something in for tonight's meeting. Give us a range. Community Outreach Forum, just prior to town meeting. Again, that's the 30th. It's a Thursday at the Community Center at 6 o'clock. We do need to advertise, let residents know for attendance. We do, the BBT did a video that had Dennis in it narrating, and it is now on the town website. It's on the main page. I think we should probably also have a link to it on the DPW page and the DPW Building Committee page. But if you go on the home page for the town, it's under the news and events. And then we want to redo a draft presentation and select speakers and slides for those speakers. It's going to be similar to fall town meeting presentation, and I did do separate from what I'm showing now. I did do I took a pass at it, and we can take a look at it tonight if you want to. Then we got spring annual town meeting, which is Thursday, the 7th of May. We need 2/3 of a vote. That is for our phase 3, I should say, construction funding of 17 million. Again, town meeting presentation, it'd be similar to the community outreach presentation. Locations at Nipmunk, and we'll all be in attendance. And then the election ballot vote, where we need a majority, is being held on the 12th, which is a Tuesday, from 7 to 8 p.m., 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Our budget, so our total budget, which we really reviewed back in November, is not to exceed 19.5 million. You know, we got 2.5 million approved at fall town meeting. So our construction phase cost is going to be not to exceed 17. I know it's in the warrant for 17 million. Our SD cost estimate right now is tracking right at that 17 million amount. We're actually slightly below, and this is inclusive of soft costs. We're about 16.95 million. Again, we do have a DD estimate that's going to be due roughly May 1st. And the warrant language is at this point is finalized for the for town meeting.
Steve, what's the 16.95? What's the contingency percentage?
We're carrying a 5% contingency on construction, and then a 5% contingency on the soft costs. So rough 5% overall. It's
okay.
You know, it's trying to, you know, we're trying to work into that 17.
Yeah, that's generous, but not that's sufficient, but not overly generous.
No, it isn't. But you know, you know, that's an SD estimate. You know, where, you know, DD has more detail in it. There's, you know, a couple site things that have changed a little bit, but there should be pluses and minuses. But you know, so maybe some of the other soft costs may have some flex to them too. So, but you know, we're not going over 17 million as far as the ask goes.
So one of the things that is an item I can give you feedback on immediately, like for example, I chair capital budget, and we had our first reading of the warrant last Thursday, and we tabled this because there hadn't been a building committee meeting. So Steve, I think we need to, through Paul, we'll get back to him, but we need to get the SD set and the cost estimate and all the documentation to the committee members to get a review done. And it doesn't have to be the whole group of you, but maybe one or two of you folks to join a meeting. I suspect finance committee will probably be maybe asking for the same thing. But we need to make sure we have our ducks in a row before you go to the public presentation to the board to make sure that the building committee has a hopefully a full attendance, find a date. Like I said, capital budget has put together the 16th of April, which is next Thursday, so we have a date on there. So if you want to grab that date, and like I said, I suspect it's an hour, but we should probably try to get the complete document set out so we can get that in front of this committee, so we can reschedule a meeting with a quorum, because we do need to vote and recommend. I know procedural, they're not gonna let us go forward without that, so.
Okay, so Dan, you're saying we need to attend the capital
I think we need to do
budget
this
committee
committee
on the
needs to have,
16th?
this committee needs to have a quorum, and we need to review
Well,
the
yeah.
SD set and make a recommendation. And, you know, that 16th date, capital budget can move that. We basically meet on Thursdays. So if you go to the Thursday after, if that made sense, if you wanted to steal this date for DPW building next Thursday or something. We'll have to just poll to make sure we get Andy, John, and Paul, so we can have a quorum.
Would that, were you saying that would be a joint meeting of capital budget and DPW Building Committee?
It could be, yeah, I can talk to Paul about that.
You know, instead of having two.
Yeah, that's fine.
Especially-
I'm fine with that too. I
Oh,
don't
actually,
see a problem with that.
John is on now.
Yeah, through the chair, I apologize. Microsoft Teams and Apple products do not go well together.
Yeah, you gotta use the app, John.
Oh, I used it. A lot of expletives on this end. Sorry.
I'm with you, I've been there. So we do have a quorum, which is good. We can go back to our agenda. Let's see, I have that up if you want to. Get back to my sharing screen. But yeah, now this committee needs to do. We need to, John, we can catch you up, but I don't know how much you caught. Did you catch most of that or not?
Most of that I did, Mr. Chair. Are you the chair this evening?
I am.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I caught the majority of that, so I'm good. No need to backtrack. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I think that, so we'd be on, he gave us the schedule update. I think everybody caught that. So the discussion here is, you know, like I said, I would stick to what's on that schedule. But I think we need to get the SD docs to the full committee, and the full committee needs to have a hopefully not just a quorum, but 100% attendance, so we can take action and make a recommendation to move forward. Because I know that CBC and Finance are going to look for that. We have another article. This isn't the only article. We have another article on our warrant that's got the same situation where the sponsoring committee has to really have done its business procedurally to make that next step.
What I can do is get the stuff to from me to Paul, and let Paul distribute it. Unless you want me to, we can always blind copy people too, but maybe I just run it through Paul and let him distribute to the rest of the committee members.
Yeah, like I said, I think at this point you can just go to this. You can email everything to the committee members at CBC, Steve. I think that's not a problem. And I know on capital budget, we would probably I would just put the documents on a Teams page that our group can get a hold of. And we have 4 of us are design professionals or construction folks that can Bluebeam and stuff like that, so we can get up and even set up a session for that. Because a few of those folks, we look for their review and input ahead of time, and they don't need a ton of time, but they definitely need, you know, hopefully a week to take a look at everything, so they can formulate some good feedback and questions for us, as is expected for us, you know, doing the public's business.
Yep, no problem.
So if anybody in the committee doesn't have a problem with that, that would be a good way we can do the same thing. They can put that on Teams for this committee too, and you can get access to a Teams page. So I think it's number 5. Any other items from any of the committee members regarding outreach and town meeting and ballot vote? Like I said, I think, like I said, we really just as a committee have to do our work on an official posted meeting. Like I said, get the information ahead of time, have a meeting, and get ready to make a recommendation.
You want me to go through the draft of the town meeting presentation? It just, again, it's
Sure.
just something that I put together. It's really, the foundation of it was what we did in November, but just sort of updating it.
Sure.
Hold on, let me share that.
Also, Dan, we do have minutes from November 19th that since we have a quorum, we could approve if you would like to do that.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I'd like to not leave stuff laying around that we can take action on.
You guys want to do that now and then do
Now,
the
go ahead,
presentation?
do this first. We'll do that at the end as we close up.
Okay, all right. So let's see, it makes slideshow. So just cover page, and then again, I didn't change too many of these slides because it's almost like, we want to remind everybody what we talked about back in November. Nothing has really changed. We still need this. So I kept a lot of the slides with the, what does DPW do? Why is a new DPW facility needed? The history, and the current conditions, especially. And these are all slides from fall town meeting. And then progress to date, I updated this slide to get us through the fact that we're, at this point we've done schematic design, we've done focus working group meetings, we're in design development. Our geotechnical investigations are complete, and a lot of the surveys and the early stuff is complete. That is a rendering of the existing site as it is now. The next one, this has got to be updated a little bit, but again, we want to show the proposed site plan. A couple of these things moved around a little bit. We went over them today, so we can have JP and the West End Sampson crew get us an updated version of that and just insert this into the deck. Milestone dates, updated those, again with annual town meeting, request for construction funds. If it's approved, a vote on the ballot on the May 12th. And then we prepare our bid documents, our bidding phase, and then our estimated construction timeframe. I updated this to show, again, our total project budget, 19.5. We did 2.5 for the design funding, and our request is 17 million at the annual town meeting. This we carried this tax impact slide from November. Just need to confirm these numbers. So I got the note here. Make sure that we're, nothing has changed on this.
Steve, as an update, we did. We recently went through the articles for town meeting, and one of them was the DPW facility, and Kenny Costa was on, and this came up, and Kenny is still holding these numbers.
Okay, so this is good. We can keep this slide as is.
He did not make any changes to them.
Okay. All right. I can delete that confirmation. And then, the summary slide, I didn't change at all. It's asking for the same as we did in November. So and that's a draft. If anything, people want to update it, it's PowerPoint, so we can do anything with it we want. I figured I'd bring it up for people's suggestions.
So Steve, a lot of the pictures are also in the video. as is some of the verbiage from this presentation, because that's how the BVT kids created the video. Was basically they used the fall town meeting slide presentation, this one, to help create that. So the video, I think Dennis, it's 7 minutes. Is that the running time?
Yes, it's maybe slightly over, but it's under 8, it's 7.
So 7 minutes, and typically the town moderator will give us 15 minutes to make a little pitch. So I think we just need to be careful not to just reiterate the same information that's in the slide. Perhaps we can, I mean, there are certainly slides in here that we need to keep, but I think when we do the informational session at the end of the month, we should see how it works and try to pare it down to the minimum amount needed, because we don't want to just reiterate information that was already discussed a few seconds earlier, I don't think.
Well, the community outreach is really a sort of a dry run for the town meeting.
Exactly, yeah.
And if the plan is to show that video first and then do the presentation?
Yeah, I don't know, Dennis. I mean, I would think that we would want to have you introduce the article, or have a member of the committee do it, however we decide would be best, to introduce the article and explain that, you know, we're showing a video. We have a video that provides information about the existing site and why we need to expand and renovate. And then after the video is over, I think, you know, perhaps 3 or 4 slides to just drive home the message, to have the slide with the tax implication. We certainly need that. Have the summary slide that's showing now, that one, and maybe 1 or 2 others. I don't know, but I just don't think we should be rehashing all the same information that was in the video.
So you're essentially saying that maybe from this slide and going back up, maybe the photo slides we get rid of. I saw the video. I don't quite remember exactly what's in the video at this point, but
yeah,
most of that.
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah, if you don't want to, I mean, if you're showing the video, we don't necessarily want to rehash the same things, unless there's specific ones you want to key on. Dennis, you're probably going to be doing, you know, at least some of this, if not all, but, you know, we can get rid of anything you want, you know what I mean?
So I think it's a great point, and it's a good topic. So Dan, really, this is sponsored, this article is sponsored on the town meeting warrant by the building committee and the select board. So the select board is kind of the co-sponsor, because they basically sponsor everything as the secondary sponsor for stuff they support, and they've already voted to support this project unanimously. But the building committee is actually the sponsor. So I think it's way more appropriate for a member of the building committee to present the article, the motion anyway, without a doubt.
Yeah.
An introduction can be done by any of us. Whether or not you want to have the video be the upfront beginning of the presentation is entirely up to the committee. If you think it's good enough, then absolutely, it takes, you know, some of the hot air out of the room from me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. Everyone I've spoken to has been pleased with it. The board, each one of the board members reached out to me and said that they were very pleased with it. I heard from finance, they were very pleased with it. But this is really a decision of the committee on how you want to go forward. If you want to lead off after a brief introduction, the motion's read, a brief introduction, and then lead off with the 7-minute video, basically gives the entire project in a nutshell. And then, like Steve said, go back at the very end and ram home a few slides and a few important points that you want to stick in the audience's head.
I think I know from a board and committee standpoint, for example, on capital budget, there's no question about the support for the project and the endorsement for the project. That's not doing that. I think it's going to come down to a couple things. I think we need to have some better slides of what the SD design looks like at this point in the game. So I think we will get in trouble if we go with that slide, because that looks a lot like the fall. And people are going to be like, what are you doing? So I think we do need to show more content, and I think we need to show a little more breakdown of, why a building like this costs X amount of dollars, and give the voters some information to understand that part of it. So
Good
I think
point.
that's important, and I completely agree with Steve's point. I think it's easier just to let the video can play as people are coming in, and the video can play, during the presentation too, since it's already a public video. And we could use that up front and then keep it down to 3 or 4 slides that kind of really educate the public to where we're at, what it looks like, why it costs this amount of money, and how we're being thoughtful about the project. And I think we start hitting home on the operational efficiencies, and then we also start hitting home on, the things that the committee has, worked on and decided to bring forward, and making sure that our design professionals are capturing in the project. I think that's probably a message that'll settle better.
Yeah,
I think
we could
explaining
do
the
a,
dollars is really important, Steve. I think we need to give some breakdown to that.
yeah, we could do a sort of a roll-up type of detail on the budget, what that 17 comprises of your construction contingency, your hard costs, your soft costs, your designer fees, your OPM fees, your other soft costs, and that contingency, and show where we come up with the 17.
Yeah. Because
That's
like you
easy
said,
enough.
all the other money's already been authorized and
Yeah,
being spent,
that's passed. Yeah.
and it's all vast. So we don't need to do that. I think we just need to focus in on the cost of the project, because that's usually what my experience is living in Upton, and actually being from another state and living 3 other places before I got here. People in the open town meeting format of being the elected body to make the decision to spend their tax dollars on something like this, like to dig into that kind of stuff. So I think
We could have,
we're
we could
wise to give that to them.
we could even have, we could print copy. I was just looking at the SD set. It's 23 pages. Perhaps, we could get a slim down version of it that still has lots of detail, and we could have copies of that available for people as they walk into the meeting, so that they have the details, and we can explain the money that you voted in November is what paid for the drawings and the information that you're looking at. So I think, given that it's not a huge document, if we thought that would help, we could have copies of the SD information available for people to look at as they come into the meeting.
Well, maybe that slimmed down version is your new site plan, your floor plan, and then your couple, the elevations. I mean, I don't know if you necessarily need HVAC and electrical
No, you don't need
plans.
those.
I
No,
think
you don't need all that, but like I said, just
see
something,
what it's comprised of, sort of on
something
a
to
higher
show,
level.
something to show people what we paid $2.5 million for.
Well, it's important too to say that we haven't spent all that money yet. They need to know that we're only at the end of SD. We burned through X amount of that 2.5 million. So I think that's the stuff we need to kind of give the tracking and be a little more, detail oriented in reporting out. But Steve, I think it's really important to kind of explain to people why a building costs this,
Yeah.
and really have the value and the money well spent conversation, because this is essentially the need with a little extra in it, really, basically, and there's nothing extravagant here, and I think we need to continue to deliver that message.
What are your thoughts on this? I mean, and at one time we had a much larger scope that we reduced from. Do we want to reiterate that, at one time to get everything, which is, like the new salt shed and a couple other things, showing that and that what we reduced to, or don't even bother?
We might want to do that. I think that might be a good topic specifically to be on our agenda for the next meeting. I think you don't need to go too far into it, other than just this is the stuff we need to have an efficient, functioning, and compliant and efficient DPW facility.
Yeah.
And we're reusing the existing building. There's been thought put to it to make it as cost effective as we can.
Yeah, I think
in
that
the
last
environment
slide
we're
sort of touches on it, where, what this project meets the minimum DPW needs. But maybe you expand and say
just
at
spreading
one
that.
time.
I just want to make sure we thread that message in from start to finish.
I think, Dennis, you may have done it as a narrative in your presentation without having it written on a slide back in November, if I remember correctly.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't recall.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe we talked about it and we didn't end up pulling the trigger on it, but it's just trying to show that, this isn't what we started out with. We started out with a much larger scope, but knowing that we need to get to a certain number, this is what we pared it down to, is the minimum needs for the DPW at this point.
We cut a little over 10,000 square feet out of that building.
Yeah.
It's a delicate thing to do, Dennis. We need to basically say that, we kept it to what's needed and we cut it, but we didn't cut it too much. We didn't cut it to the point where it doesn't work. I mean, it's just one of those things that we just got to thread that need discussion all throughout.
Oh yeah, we cut it down to the point where we can get the vehicles all under roof, but how we lay them in there is going to be extremely delicate now, because it's a sardine can. We're putting, to get everything in there, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You got to put everything in correctly, otherwise you can't get stuff out without. If you want one particular piece of equipment in the middle of winter, you have to pull half the garage out. That's pretty typical, by the way, of most DPWs.
Yeah, it's like valet parking.
Discussion is important to have out there, that we're not just building the Taj Mahal. We did our due diligence. We did some, we did some necessary reductions in the scope or size to protect the taxpayers' funds.
Before we go too much further, I just want to let everyone know I got a hard stop coming up, because I have a conservation meeting scheduled at 7:40 that I have to hop in on for Kiwanis Beach replenishment of sand, so I can't miss that.
I don't have anything else as far as showing slides for that draft. So, and I don't have any other topics.
Well, the committee can go. I'm just letting you know I'm going to have to exit stage left.
Were we going to vote on the minutes while we had a quorum?
Yeah, we should do that.
Sorry about that. My internet just blipped on me. I think Dave O'Brien, do you have anything else that you wanted to offer up in the conversation?
No, I'm good.
Steve, John, any other thoughts?
Nope, all set, Mr. Chairman.
Steve, if you can do the pleasure of getting on your screen the minutes from November 19th, so we those of us who are here in the quorum can review them and
Okay, from November 19th. Let me see. Okay. Now, share. Gotta find the share button.
Upper right, Steve.
Upper right. I always, there it is. Okay, share. Okay. So it's on the right. These are the minutes. Okay, what else? That's about it.
okay.
One thing I noticed here is you've got me as not present, but providing an update.
Oh, that's tonight's. That's tonight. These are
Oh, the
tonight's
one on the
meetings.
left is tonight.
Yeah,
this
you got
is
the you
tonight's
got
minutes.
tonight's meeting.
I'm only seeing one. I'm sorry. I only see one.
We're only
Oh,
seeing
you only
tonight's,
see
Steve.
one?
Yeah.
You
have
should
to
see
go
the
to
one that
those.
says November 19th at the top. Do you see that?
No.
Oh, oops, sorry. Let's try it
No,
again.
yeah, you got the April 8th I'm looking at.
I
yeah,
got the
sorry.
other one. Okay. So let's stop sharing and start sharing. I might have picked the wrong window or something. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
There
Yeah,
we go.
it's
Okay.
there now.
Okay. So were you not present on November 19th? I don't remember. Steve?
I look back and on my calendar, I didn't have it on the calendar, and it looks like Vertex and Weston and Sampson was not
Okay,
there.
right. This was a meeting that we had just for the committee members without anybody else. Now I remember that. Okay, so that's why you're not present.
Yep, we can go to the second page. I don't have any.
Oh, the
comments
second
on it.
page. Yep. So this is the second page.
I don't have any comments. Anybody else? Looks accurate to me.
Right. So motion to approve the minutes from November 19th.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the November 19th minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Dave O'Brien. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Dan Lazar's aye.
Dave O'Brien, aye.
Steve Rackets and I.
John Westerling abstained because I was not present.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
So we have majority action for the minutes.
Okay.
All set. And that would be for tonight. Our next item would be we don't have anybody from the public on, right? So we don't have to answer any questions or offer anything from the public. We just have our design professionals and our OPM. And then we have a tentative date of the 16th. Steve, for that, do a joint building committee and capital budget. And you were going to send out to get so we have the docs to us. So any other topics that I have not anticipated that the committee would like to bring forward?
While the Vertex and Weston and Sampson are here, do you think it'd be worthwhile taking 5 minutes to show the video so they have a chance to see it in case they haven't?
I think they can get to it on our website, open-ended. So, no
Yes.
offense.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so they can get at it, Steve. It's out there. So it's on the public domain.
Okay,
If they can come prepared with some thoughts or ideas from the conversation we gave feedback on today with regard to like how we would change the slides up from what we talked about, I think that's what's important.
right.
Give them a homework assignment if you don't mind.
Okay.
Cool. Seeing no other business from our agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Got a motion to adjourn and seconded. And we'll have to roll call. Pam Lazar's aye.
David Ryan, aye.
Steve Rackets and I.
John Westling, aye. And again, I apologize for being late this evening, gentlemen. Thank you.
No worries. Steve, you might want to just adjust, you had 7:03 for tonight's start time. I believe I saw John show up about 7:10, so you can just start our official call to order at
Okay.
7:10.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Look forward to talking
Okay,
next week.
thank you.